Well, it looks like they may be back. The killer clowns may indeed be back, folks, and if there's any indication, it looks like they're rising up in groups to try to deliver the killer clown-like scare, the killer clown-like purge that they were trying to do last year in 2020, but it didn't come about, so it looks like they're trying to replicate that for this year in 2021. What's scary about this is that usually they wait about, 2 to 3 years, 4 years at most, to try to rise up and scare, but for the first time in history, it seems that these killer clowns are waiting up to a year to deliver this killer clown-like purge, the movement they're trying to deliver in society. Are they really coming back? Exactly what are the signs? We'll talk about it here, a part of the Gaming Weekly. So that's the question we're all wondering, are the killer clowns truly coming back? Well, let's not forget back in 2016, they made a shocking appearance scaring the public to the point where the police were involved. Well, 4 years later in 2020, the killer clowns made their return. In fact, I got the chance to interview some of the clowns back then. They told me how it was some form of movement. It was a purge-like movement they were trying to instill into society. I remember them telling me that it was time for them to rise up, that it was time for them to try to group up to try to make sure that they would scare society because of the fact that it was society that would harm them. Now they're trying to rise up to try to scare the society itself. Well, now it's October of 2021, a year later, it looks like they aren't wasting little time trying to scare the public. The killer clowns have some sort of mission to scare the communities all over the world, and I'm not exactly sure why. They have some form of disturbed mentality with some cryptic messages spreading through the world as if it was some sort of toxic smog smothering through the communities and such, but nonetheless, it really is getting disturbing. In fact, I want to take you guys to a news report that was published just about 2 weeks ago. This happened all the way in Singapore. Just a perfect example of what I mean when these clowns aren't just doing it in the United States, they're really doing it all over the world. But anyhow, going back to this though, they're performing these acts over there in Singapore. In fact, the article states, quote, Mother Lean Wong was running late when she arrived at the school gates and found her 9-year-old daughter Anne was nowhere to be seen. Speaking of Vice World News, she said, quote, I was held up due to traffic and my mind started racing when I didn't see Anne waiting for me. In a panic, she checked her phone, opened Facebook, and saw her worst nightmare. Floods of social media posts filled her screen showing pictures of men dressed up as clowns approaching children. Some worrying posts even mentioned that the creepy clown had paid children to follow them. Clowns are terrifying, even to adults, Wong said. This is any parent's worst fear. What if they turn out to be psychopaths and murderers wanting to harm their children? So there's more to this article in which the link will be posted in the description if you want to check it out, but I basically share the bulk of the entire situation. It looks like the killer clowns are rising up over there, and it may be spreading all over the world. It may be the next clown pandemic. And when it comes to the nuts and bolts of this thing, I have a strong feeling these killer clowns are going to rise all over the next few weeks since Halloween is at the end of the month. So you best believe there will be a lot more sightings across the world over the course of the next few weeks, so you got to be careful. Right now, I'm going to show you what has been really popping up on social media recently. Here is what we saw.
The killer clown trend might be coming back, and it's even worse this time. Back in 2016, so-called killer clowns were spotted everywhere, going viral online. However, now in 2021, it might be coming back, and it's already a lot worse. There have been multiple reports of killer clowns now waiting outside of kids' schools. And the creepiest part is, they're asking the little children to follow them. Look, here's one of them pictured outside a school in Singapore. Now comment what you would do if you saw a killer clown.
So it's clear to me that these clowns won't stop, and unlike before, they aren't waiting 4 years anymore. I believe this could be some sort of sick annual tradition where killer clowns are going to be showing up every October, and God forbid for them to be showing up every month. For some reason, they want to rise up out of nowhere, scare a lot of people, and if you ask me, it's one thing to joke around and scare your friends and such and all that, but it's a completely different story whenever you're dressed up as a clown trying to wait outside schools and ask kids to come follow them. I mean, that is completely sickening. And in the previous video, I was taking my casual walk and I picked up the sign that said soon with balloons on it. So could it be perhaps the clown sending some direct message that soon they're going to be on the rise again, that they're going to be in groups yet again trying to scare everybody in society? I mean, this is the early portion of October, so who knows? Perhaps there will be some form of clown purge on the horizon. I don't know, folks. I really have no idea what to say here. I mean, I just want to preface this by saying that for the safety of everyone, this might sound a bit unnecessary, but just to be on the safe side, don't ever follow a stranger. No matter if he's in a clown costume or not, don't ever follow some stranger around just because they're asking you. I mean, give me a break. This is ridiculous. So please do not follow anybody, especially these killer clowns. These killer clowns are looking to make their return, and I'll be honest with you, this trend has been going around for quite some time, and still I get goosebumps just about every time I see one of those videos or even hear about the stories. I mean, that's all I gotta say here, folks. Again, these signs, over the next couple of weeks, we're gonna be keeping an eye out just to make sure. I mean, perhaps, maybe, more than likely, the killer clowns will be in effect over the next few weeks, considering the fact that Halloween is just around the corner, but hopefully that may not be true, but it seems to be that the chain of the events may be rising again. Anyhow, folks, make sure to stay safe. Make sure to, heed the warning we, a part of the Gaming Weekly, are giving you, and be safe this October and Halloween. And that's all for now, folks. We'll see you next time.
Warning from officials in a central Minnesota community tonight.
The Annandale police chief says there have been multiple clown sightings recently, and viewer Mary Faber just sent us photos and videos of at least one clown she spotted herself.
Now, these sightings are getting mixed reaction from residents. As Fox 9's Mitty Hicks reports, some are pretty nervous about this, while others not concerned at all.
Just weird, it's not a normal thing you see in a small town.
Katie Daniels is talking about a clown running around in the town of Annandale
With a mask on.
She says its antics are anything but funny.
Scaring the person.
For residents like Katie,
You don't know what's going to happen.
they're wondering about the clown's intentions.
When I saw him scare the kids, I was like, nope, I'm done. That's not cool, and he literally ran right by them, and these kids are crying because it's not a normal clown. It's not a normal clown.
But others in this small town of about 3,300 believe the person is out to lighten the mood after a tough year.
I haven't heard of anything dangerous happening with him. I think it's just somebody out having a fun time.
Up the road in Maple Lake, another small town, is a big player
If you're happy and you know
in the professional clown industry.
and you know it, eat a cookie. Eat it now.
Trisha Manuel toured with the Ringling Brothers, the biggest circus in the country.
And I'm right there. Real clowns, true clowns, are people who just want to bring joy to other people.
She says clowns get a bad reputation because of bad actors.
And people who like to dress up like a clown and scare people, that is totally against the creed of what real clowns do. The sadness of it is that it takes that joy away from a lot of people. Please don't take my sunshine away.
In Annandale, Mitty Hicks,